What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. I sure did. I got to go to Galveston, spent it with the family, and it was great. We got to go do Mardi Gras, got to ride on a float. Thanks to my good buddy Sharky, Michael Marquez, who also played on a great performance this weekend. It was a great weekend. I hope everybody had a great weekend too. So today's show is about virtual production. We're going to give you a full virtual production workshop on a completed project that we've done in the past. So we're going to break it down. I've talked about this project in the past, but I really haven't done a full analysis on this. This project was brought to me by a really good friend. Now he's a really good friend. After the shoot, we became great friends. His name's Siraj. Siraj is a director. He's over in New York. He does a lot of projects in Dubai. He's got a lot of really amazing creative projects. You'll see his name on our pitch deck here in a little bit. So go give him a follow. Go check out some of his work. It's really top notch. I've learned so much from this man. Some of the new processes that I'm going to be showing you today are things that I learned from him while working on this project. And that is the way that he talks about and used Unreal Engine to do some of his previs. It's now how I'm developing my storyboards and my campaigns for our clients. And I'm hoping that this creates a spark for you to be able to create top level stuff and win some really great major leads and clients. So that being said, I'd like to welcome Morgan to our show. What's up, Morgan?
Hello, hello. Hey, what's up, What's going on, guys?
Morgan, we're going to be going live today, and we're going to be talking about some virtual production. I know you had some questions, but I really wanted us to kind of dissect some of this stuff, and I wanted to give you the floor to be able to ask questions as you go. Please let us know when people are talking and asking questions, and so we can answer some of those things live as people do. So please, everybody in the stream, just go ahead and leave some comments. We want to talk about virtual production. If you want us to slow down, I'd love to be able to slow down and talk about a little bit more detail. But that being said, we're going to start right into it. Morgan, maybe you can give me, instead of vertical over here, we can get horizontal on my end.
Okay.
Because I'm looking over here. But
I got you.
So we want to go look at some pre-production. So I've got some good stuff here for us to check out.
Ready for me to throw it up?
I'm almost ready for you.
Okay, I got you.
So I'm going to go look at this McLaren PDF. So when actually doing productions and large scale things, we're going to talk about start to finish, how I create them and how we created this particular projects. I will show you the final video here in a little bit, but I wanted to show you how we got to the final video and how close it was to the original concept to the final. So that being said, stick around so you can see the video. But really, I like to start all of my conversations and all of my projects with a developmental or a pre-production meeting, just to kind of learn who these people are. I call this a pre-dev, demo meeting. Really, it's just like it's that initial meeting that you have with them to find out if you're even a good fit to work with them, because not everybody works well with everybody. So first, I like to audition people and figure out if they're going to be a good fit. They might be asking for too much, or they maybe not wanting to scratch the creative needs or itches that you need to be. So always vent out what you're going to be doing with this client, this production or project. And so that means I go and ask lots of questions like, like, what is your wish list? What are you kind of trying to do? What's your achievement? I like to talk about moods, tones, and references. Like, those are all really great inspirations for me to help understand where somebody wants to go in their video. Because there's so many different directions. You can be like, hey, I want to make this type of video, and I'm imagining it one way and you're imagining it another, because there's not enough descriptive information. So by dissecting and having those questions, they've all got something in their mind. They've all seen a video that they love, and they're like, I love this. So the more you can pull them to give you those references, the more you're going to hit the head on the nail for them. Is this all making sense, Morgan?
Yeah, makes tons of sense.
Awesome. So next, I like to ask some questions like, is there going to be a script? Is there going to be like a score? Is there going to be music made for this video? What is the video about? Is it a product? Is it a service? Is it a wedding video? Whatever that is, you know, you need to find out what that is. And then that helps you kind of develop your own game plan in your own head. And so, you know, once you got some of those questions, that would then lead you into like, okay, well, what kind of props do you want to have? So the project we're going to be talking about today is about an Acura project. And so our prop was a car. And so my good friend Suraj came to us and said, hey, I want to make this video. So again, I had all these questions. I was like, so what's the tone? What's the mood? What's the vibes? So he had already come with all those questions answered for us and presented a incredible pitch deck. Morgan, I'm ready to bring up this pitch deck.
All right, let me bring this thing up.
And so when he was like, hey, Justin, I have this idea that I want to do. And he was like, it's really going to be a spec piece, Justin. I really want to just showcase this, what's possible. And so, you know, obviously everybody's like, I'll hear your idea, you know. And I had just heard from met Suraj at this time. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's show me your pitch. Show me your idea. Like, I'm willing to hear it, right? So if you got a good idea and a good story, I'm going to lean into it. So his idea was Beyond Human. And so he said he wanted to do a car spec ad. And so for me, I've been doing cars commercials for a while now. Capital One is one of the most videos I've made about cars. So how fast does it drive? Like how much space is in there? And all of these videos are get hundreds of thousands of views, and some of them got millions. But they're all not the most exciting. They're all like very informationally driven, and I was dying and itching to create something beautiful that's a story, and I've been kind of pitching this to them for like months, if not years. Like, let's tell really cool stories about these cars. And so when I'm listening to this pitch, I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I've been wanting to do. Just immediately in this first intro, like this is exactly what.
The first image you can.
I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, you can already.
I didn't even read the thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh,
aesthetic.
just the vibes. And I'm like, okay, so this is again, he just needed something to immediately sell it. It was like, this is the visual style, and I'm like, this is sexy. This is cool. I dig this. So he already grabbed my attention. And so he already knew that he wanted to have a script. He read the script for me out loud. And then I'm like, okay, well, do you have a storyboard? That was even before he's like, I got you a storyboard. So like when you're coming to your clients with an idea, like he did all of this before he even came to me, right?
Yeah.
So like having the idea fully fleshed out and presenting this to a client, which, you know, in a sense, I was his client because he needed to get me to invest into the project. So he had everything thought out fully. So we had our storyboards. So he had every individual shot that he was imagining. So this idea that he came to me was like, I really want to do a McLaren. And I was like, okay, we know some people with some McLarens.
You know a couple guys with McLaren?
Yeah, I do. There's a couple of friends, you know. So but Suraj had a vision. So I spent days looking for McLarens, and I found a couple of them, but none of them were in the color of his choice. I found a white one. I found like a green one or
How
other
important
colors.
was the color?
The color was so important.
Yeah,
it was so important. It needed to be extremely dark, and so that helped with the reflections of our LED wall on the vehicle. So if we had a white, bright vehicle, the colors don't shine through on the car itself. It does not wrap around it. And we wanted to immerse everybody in the shot. So he insisted on there being a black car. So I searched far. I posted Instagram posts. I reached out to other friends, and they're like, I got this car, I got that car. And surprisingly, none of them were coming back black. So it's like every single option that I was getting, and we were coming down to the wire. We're like maybe 48 hours, maybe 72 hours, somewhere pretty close to our timeline that we really wanted to execute. He's going to go back to New York. He was going to be starting a new project in Dubai. So like we had to hit our deadline. He had to get it back. So we ended up finding one of our friends. Her name was Raquel. She worked at a car dealership, and Sonic Automotive and we found a beautiful Acura, and it was dark. And
Yeah.
so we had to pivot. It's no longer a McLaren commercial. It's an Acura commercial.
Yeah.
So that being said, all of our previs were all done in Unreal Engine. So this car right here on scene number 1, I'll just zoom in for you real fast so you can see it. This is all in Unreal Engine. This is not a real image.
So, okay. So, like, none of it. Like, there's
none
not
of
even,
this
like,
is
any,
real.
like, foreground
None of
elements?
this is, nothing is real. This was,
wow.
he came into my facility with this image. And so the way he did that was he created a Unreal Engine scene, right? It's like Fortnite.
Yeah.
You go create, he was like, oh, maybe he pulled some assets and different things from other packs, right? He's like, I really like this texture of this concrete. I really like these light panels or whatever it is, right? And put these things in. He probably purchased this McLaren on like Turbo Squid
Yeah.
for like $10 or $5 and was able to
Man.
put this into that environment.
I mean, how many creatives, directors, like DPs do you think are that proficient? Because I mean, I feel like for people who are even, I don't know, I haven't really used a lot of Unreal, but for me, I feel like this looks like something that would take even time. Like, you would need to be skilled in Unreal to create this kind of.
Well, the level of perfection that Siraj is trying to achieve, he's trying to tell a very specific story.
Yeah.
Right. That story is that, you know, even robots want to be human. Right. And that's the whole story that he's driving here is like, they want to live, they want to feel the thrive of this vehicle. So he had a very specific story. And even here in a minute, when I show you all the animatic, I was like, are you kidding me? You still want to film this? Like, it looks done to me. And he's like, this is the worst it's ever going to look, kind of thing. And I was like, wow, okay, well, you're going to level me up, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, from what we've like learned, like, I mean, and what you know is that like combining the virtual and like the physical, the foreground elements is how you create like spectacular image.
Yes.
Because like that looks good by itself on just a freeze frame, but I know I've seen the finished product. It can look a lot better than that. It can look
really
a lot better. Yeah.
But I mean, but you'll see. Take a mental glimpse of what this image looks like right now, and you'll see our final product.
Yeah.
But here, so we've got just a few different clips. Zoom back out, go to the next one. So Siraj went through and was able to take these images from Unreal Engine and probably had a metahuman or even no metahuman and told AI to put a hand on this car. And so he could get, he got the angle that he wanted of the car, and then was able to put, say, you know, Kling AI, Banana, whatever, you know, all these different ones, put a hand here on the left side of the frame, right? And so he's able to tell his story a little bit better, right? And so each shot, some of these, like,
those
again,
reflections are insane.
it's all done in Unreal Engine in
I
real
know.
time, guys.
It's insane.
Like the reflections. So when you have a reflection or a light inside of Unreal Engine, you put that car inside of Unreal Engine, those lights reflect onto that car.
Yeah, because it's not like static images. They're generated. They're like elements that have to be processed. So it can bounce off of stuff. Yeah. Unreal's crazy.
It's an incredible piece of equipment or software, and it's also free. I love to mention that it's free. It's free. It's free. You can create incredible shots. There's a shot here in a little bit. When you show you, you'll see it. This shot right here in the video, it fools me still.
Yeah.
In the video that we filmed, we forgot to capture the shot. Not forgot. We just kind of ran out of time.
Yeah.
And Siraj ended up just using his Unreal Engine shot, and I was like, it looks so good. It looks so good.
I don't know. I guess maybe I think not enough people realize that Unreal Engine can be a tool for like video and creating those kind of things. Like I think people always just jump to like video game creation, but no, it can be, you can make a commercial with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, we're just continuously telling the story. He wanted to showcase it turning on. He gives us all these visuals and like with the timing of everything with our voiceover. So this is a great example of if you're trying to make a pitch deck, you're trying to show storyboards, take this as an example. Use these as tools. kind of keep moving forward. We wanted to make it feel like we were traveling, right? We went from this garage, cyber thing to the future, right? While we're driving in this neon scene, like that's not possible, right? Like where are you gonna find a road like this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only way to do this is to generate it or create an environment, use an LED wall or a 3D and Unreal Engine.
And even if you did, how much is that going to cost? You know, are you gonna? What's the insurance going to look like on that car if you're driving it high speeds?
If Acura actually paid for this project to block off the streets to go to light this whole scene, it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
we're talking about Fast and Furious 17, y'all.
Yeah, and why do that? Like when you don't have to.
When we have all the tools here. So more storytelling. We ended up having to cut a few of these shots because of just time.
Yeah.
And then we felt that we could actually tell the story a little quicker.
How long was the whole shoot again?
The whole shoot was about 7 hours.
Oh, wow.
But we had a pre-light day. So pre-lighting, and I'll kind of go into that part whenever we get into that phase of the project. Right now, we're specifically talking about pre-production. We've had our director come in. He says, hey, look, I'm ready to do this video shoot. He's come to us with our storyboard. He's come to us with our ideas fully fleshed out. And us as a creative agency, video production company, we're able to help cultivate this video for them, right? And make a whole campaign. It showcases one video in this whole thing, but we're able to make a series of videos that would showcase this as like 30 different videos, right?
I do have a question as well. Someone asked, what are your thoughts on who creates the storyboard and who creates the shot list?
I think it's a conversation, right? So whenever, the director has their shot list, their storyboards, like me as a DP, I love it. I'm like, yes, this is you. I can see the picture, but sometimes the director has a vision and maybe not the skill sets, or not necessarily the skill sets or the time or the bandwidth to be able to co-create some of these things. So, it is project by project, right? So creating the storyboard should be one of the leaders in the company that's going to be putting on the project, from the DP or the director, somebody, it could be the writer, like to help tell the vision, give some visuals. But, I wish I could give you a right answer. Who mentioned that one?
Oh, it was Hamza.
Okay. Yeah. Hamza. Great question though. Really, it's a team. This is all a team effort, right? So like the director might come with some ideas and the DP might come with some ideas, in my industry, and with me at my studio, everybody from PAs can even put some of their input in to some extent, especially if they understand the mission, the vision, and know what we're trying to do to execute. So hopefully that answer some of your questions, Hamza. So kind of moving forward, this is some of our final scenes here. All of this again, Siraj made from scratch. It was like, I wanted it to be coming home to what looked like a very minimalistic, futuristic, robotic AI's house, right? They just need a big room. And I thought he nailed it with the design and the simplicity of this, like the build out that he did here. So really after this, he really kind of break down the various shots so we can kind of see all of them consecutively, like how they should all kind of match. So like me as a DP, I'm like, okay, I love this garage scene. This is all of the look. So he said the various angles inside of the garage scene. So he's like, this is that look. And then when we leave this garage scene, we're going to be the variation angles of our tunnel scene of it driving through. And I thought this was just a really great way to just always bring it back to what you want it to look like. And again, for the final scene, our variations of our modern home. Again, these were done in Unreal Engine. It's so incredible to see. Take a mental image of what this image looks like right now and what we actually captured. So breaking down how he wanted to break this whole thing apart. He needed to tell me what he wanted virtually, what I needed to capture physically in the camera. And so this was one of his ways to be able to do this. So in Unreal Engine, in virtual production, the best way to tell a visual story is to have more practical things in the real world, right? We wanted to have a person. We wanted to have the ground, water, reflections, lights, ambience, haze, all these different things. And you got to make them all orchestrate together and be in the right place to be perceived if they're all right there, right? So to break this down, we needed a fake pillar, right? So I had a little corner in my studio that was originally painted white. So I just painted it gray so it looked like it was a concrete pillar. Piece of thing I had in the studio already. Parking spot. This right here, he wanted something physical in there. I had a piece of styrofoam. I just sliced it and put a piece of tape with the yellow stripes on there. We picked it up from Home Depot for $2, and I just ripped up styrofoam and spray painted it, gray, and then it's going to be so out of focus. You just need the essence of it, just the placement of there, right? And then we have our painted black floors. I told him he couldn't paint our floors.
Yeah.
So he had to lean into our floors. They're gray. So you'll see it here. We wanted to wet down the floors. That was his biggest concern. He's like, can I put water on your floor? I really want to have it like a early, late night, like just had rained kind of thing. So we could like blend the two worlds together. So yeah, we wanted to have some really soft diffusion lighting on the car. So that means we needed to have it above a really big light. He's like, do you have a grid? I said, yeah, we got a big grid above so we can put like a big box light above the car.
Okay, sick.
Then we had our hazer. He's like, because he wanted the atmosphere, and then obviously our car. And then we have another breakdown. So obviously this is our first scene, and this is kind of our last scene. And so we have the same shots, and I loved how he did this. This is so great.
Yeah, I mean, he really left no room for error.
Yeah,
or like,
and this is how feature films and major productions are happening, because there's no time to be wasted. If you're spending, like, let's just say you're doing Hawkeye, the next Hawkeye film, they're paying him $10 million.
Yeah.
There's no time and there's no room for failure because his overages.
Yeah. If you need him for an extra day, he's like,
you're costing the team another $100,000. You know?
Yeah.
So there's no room for error. Like, we can't. So he wanted to come in. He knew we had to execute on one day with a pre-light, and he was like, look, if I can get the pre-light, Justin, I'll take it. But if you're not going to be able to give me, we got to be more precise with the time. So, he left no room for error, right? I mean, but there was also room that Suraj kept mentioning. He wanted room for interpretation as well, right? He wanted to be able to change a few things, maybe a lighting or adjustments and stuff. And so he knew he had his narration, his a fundamental idea, but was able to change his ideas on the fly. And so here's a little bit about Suraj, incredible director, cinematographer. He's done things for Coca-Cola and Nikon and some other major brands for Pepsi, Sony. He's been all over Europe, Russia, India, Middle East, Dubai. I mean, after I found out who he was and did this project, I was just so honored to be in here and work with him. And the final piece was incredible. So, here, give me a second, Morgan. We can get to our next scene. So I'm going to get to, our animatic. So he took all of those pieces and was able to, create an animatic for us. So let's just see. I think this is it right here. So again, y'all, he came into my building with this video. All right, I'm ready, Morgan. He came into my building with this pitch deck. He came in with this video and was like, I want to create this video. And when I finished it, I was like,
yeah,
I'll tell you what I said. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, was that human model? Was that in Unreal?
That was Unreal. Yeah, he put a MetaHuman inside of Unreal Engine, and was able to dress her
And
into her
like
and stuff.
track the
So
movements.
let's dissect this real fast.
Yeah.
So all right, I'm gonna play it again. So here we go. Here's our first scene. So he has our Unreal Engine environment, our pillars that he want to have in here. We have the car that we're gonna have practically. So in Unreal Engine, you have everything scaled to 1-to-1. So that car is to the scale. That
Yeah.
person is to the scale.
Mhm.
So that was that's kind of really important whenever you're building all these assets. And there's measuring tools so you can keep everything to scale, right?
Mhm.
So, but he was able to take the screen grab, okay? And then the reason she is walking is because he had a first shot and a second shot. He put our metahuman right here, and then took another shot over here. And then he ran that through an AI application like Kling or Runway or VO3, right? So all of those will let you start and end your frame. So from there, he could just generate that image.
Yeah.
And now we move on to the next shot, right? So we have our one image shot. He got the camera angle in Unreal Engine. He drove it with his mouse. I was like, I love this angle, right? Took a screen grab, high resolution export inside of Unreal Engine, dropped it into AI. Give me a little bit of movement. Boom, next shot. Right? And so he just took his shot list in his mind of every single shot, put that into a timeline. So he created a little bit of movement in it so he could start telling his timing a little bit better, can finesse it. You know, this maybe he tried to create this shot like 4 times.
Yeah.
Right? So, but he got to massage out the idea, right? So again, he probably had inside of Unreal Engine, this is probably a stock image, to be honest, right? But it's still telling the story. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Suraj found this, but if it were me, I would go find that angle. I'm like, I love this shot, and then go put that in there for me to be able to showcase the angle, the exact angle that I want to showcase. It's so important that that button was pushed, right, to start this and cue this whole series of things. All right, again, he's just exporting these images. This probably was a stock image, right? Maybe a still, like maybe this is a still, and he just told AI to make a push in, right? So you don't even have to use Unreal Engine to tell your story, right? So maybe go find 30 different shots of car angles that you like, and then you can start telling the story that you want, right? Does that make sense, Morgan?
Yeah. I mean, especially whenever you're just in the storyboard process, like you just need to give, like, I mean, in this case, I wouldn't necessarily call you a client, but just give whoever you're trying to push the project to, like, the best possible image, so they know exactly what you're going for.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. You can let them know, like, hey, I love this because of the colors. I love this because of the angle. I love this for XYZ. And you can then say, hey, I don't like this because I don't like this orange car, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we couldn't finish. This is not a completed piece because we got an orange Lamborghini in our McLaren project.
I think this is cool too, because I mean, it's like people discussing like the ethics of AI. Like this is something where it's like he was using it. Like maybe he's really bad at drawing.
Yeah.
Just an amazing visionary can make a commercial like you've never seen, a video, a movie like you've never seen, but he just can't draw.
Yeah.
So how is he going to be able to push his ideas or to share his ideas with people and get them on board?
Yeah.
If he can't, if he can't use the old tools, and we have these new tools that he can use.
I have a fun story. You can maybe take full screen on this one because there'll be a cutaway for sure. So there was a time in history that the painter and the drawer, the artist that used pencils, got really scared, right? And that's when the camera was invented. And so the painter and the artist said, the photographer, that's not real art. Real art is when you draw it. But guess what? Today, photography is one of the most iconic pieces of artwork. There's huge billboards and things that people pay sometimes tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to create a photograph of something for a billboard or for like something, right? So this is now a new tool for the creative. It's not cheating, right? People are like, oh, you're using AI, it's cheating. No, it's giving the power to us as creatives. Like, you just gave a great example. Siraj might not be a good drawer. Like he might not be able to paint that picture, but he can find video references and implement it and then say, put this texture on here and now tell his vision much better. So the old version of drawing or even taking stills is outdated. We can go much better and give a better product now that we have all these tools. We can get very precise. And everyone's like, oh, well, Unreal Engine or like AI can't do continuity. Well, that's where we come into play. We help with that. We tell that story. So we just use these as resources. It's not doing the whole storytelling, you know?
No, yeah, it's not lazy. I think whenever it's used in these kind of ways where it's only helping the creator tell their story. I mean, that's kind of the thing that you've been saying like this whole time. It's just creators just need to have all the tools they can to tell the exact story that they want to tell.
Yes. Well, cool. Let's go back to the screen over here and we can dissect this a little bit more. And so there were some shots that he put in here that, you know, represented some things. Like I think this shot right here was going to represent like a burnout, which you'll see here in the video here shortly. Beautiful shots. Wanted to have a lot of shaking of the camera, you know,
bunch of flashing lights and stuff.
Flashy lights, and then at the end he wanted to be smooth again. So it's like some like camera shakes and handheld looks and stuff. And then we cut to our final end. It needs to be super smooth.
Yeah.
Right. To distinguish each scene from each other. I knew that was very important for him just when watching his videos. I think he didn't really know what he wanted right here on this shot. Yeah, like this one. He knew he wanted to do something very interesting because he just reversed this clip. So it made it feel unnatural. So if you watch it again, like she's like reversing. So he wanted to feel like not right in a sense. So we this was one of those things that he wanted to take an interpretation, I guess. So he's like, let's get this and see what works. So it looks good. And you'll see that shot here later. And it's honestly one of my favorite shots now. And it's one of the shots that people like to refer to. Now they're like, oh, I want to get the shot like that.
Like by people, you mean like your clients?
Clients,
or?
Yeah. People that go and watch this video and they're like, hey, Justin, I saw your virtual production project. I love this shot. I want to do this in my video. So
that's cool.
It's all stems over. Okay. So that was his animatic, done with some stock footage, done with some Unreal Engine, taking those still images and then bringing them into AI to give them animation, putting them into Premiere or DaVinci or whatever editing software he liked to use, and then splice that story together. Maybe that was an AI, maybe it was his wife. I don't know who the audio was, but definitely got the voiceover so we can get the timing of everything. So when he came into our studio, he had the animatic, the storyboard, the visuals, the whole thing ready to go for us. So all we had to do was really execute. And that's the ultimate thing that I wanted to kind of get back to, is that once you use these tools, you can come armed to a production ready to go. You can save yourself tens of thousands of dollars to just by knowing every single detail of the project, right? From how long is this shot going to be, where and what are all the props going to be, what is the tone, the lighting, the demo. So when we get to set, everybody can watch the whole thing. So our lighting department, our actors, our makeup artists, our whole team is all in synchronized with each other, which after doing the shoot, it was just so game changing for me. Right, we've been doing, huge level virtual productions, and I do a free project with a director from New York, and I learned so much. So I think that just goes to say, don't stop learning. Try to keep doing new things. And sometimes you got to do free things so you can scratch that new thing that you want to do, like hit that new level, right? If you've never done it before, go and do it before you can sell it. Because now, since we've did this one, we've sold it a dozen times, right? People, like a dozen different companies have come in and hired us, and they use this video. We've used this video as a reference. We're like, hey, these are what's possible. And it's like, boom, now we could showcase it.
That's interesting too, because I mean, y'all didn't sell it directly to Acura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we didn't sell it for actors.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
it was
So it
entirely
doesn't.
for ourselves.
So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you did make a spec ad with the hope that the direct client or the direct subject buys it. Like even if they don't like it,
Yeah.
it's just showing more of what you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to showcase a little behind the scenes. Pull up this real fast. Close this bad boy. So here is a little bit of BTS. So, alrighty. On the shoot, so I guess to make sure we're hitting all of our points, we made sure that I knew exactly what Siraj wanted. We had conversations, our discovery calls. We figured out all of our details. We talked about all the wish lists. We talked about the tones, the vibes, the references. We talked about a script. We talked about what kind of props and what is the video about. We looked at a storyboarding. We looked through animatics. And then, so like, this is all helping tell the story. So by the time I leave that meeting, I know fully what he's trying to execute on. And then, we broke it down shot by shot. We go over it like 10 times before the shoot day. So we like know it like the back of our hand. So like, I know when Siraj says, I want to go to number 2, in my head, I already know. I've looked at the storyboard 12 times, 24 times. And I'm like, I know that shot, and when we're going to do it. So all the previs that he was using, Unreal Engine, free software, ran all those clips through AI. Great process. I'm now using it in my workflow. Then you go into production, and that's where we want to showcase our some of the things that we did on set. Huge shout out to my good friend Duncan, who did all the lighting. So all the ambient lighting you see on this thing, Duncan Johnson, he was on the set on our live show not too long ago. So the robotic camera arm did a lot of the precise shots, right? So I'll go back real fast and click right here. So you can see this one right here was actually a 2D plate. It's just a video background. And this was during our transit period, right? That driving scene. So we didn't need to have it fully immersed in the Unreal Engine environment. We were able to use just motion like graphics because we wanted to have the essence of lights just beaming by really fast. So we had beams of light moving by as quickly as we possibly can. And so we had to orient the camera in a direction that it was perceived correctly, right? So in this next shot, which it looks like it's really off, right? Right here, you're like, man, why is that car? It looks like he's drifting in the like on this bridge right here. But I wasn't actually filming the car on the bridge like that. I was filming the reflections of, like, if you look at my mouse over here, I was actually capturing the reflections of the ceiling. So, and it just made sense how these lines were coming across the hood of the vehicle.
Well, whenever you're dealing with perspective like that and trying to get perfect angles, I mean, you're pretty experienced, in the video production field. Is this something that still takes a bit of finessing? Like, oh, let me just like move the camera all around, or did you kind of have a general idea of like, oh, I think if I aim it here, I can get the right?
This particular one was kind of a trial by fire.
Yeah.
Right. When it comes to the Unreal Engine environments, you can get a little bit closer to knowing before. But this one, getting those angles to be perceived, it was a little bit of a challenge for sure. And so one of the things that I like to do is I go in and I say, this looks great. I turn my face away. I walk away for like 60 seconds to a minute. And then I come back and then I look back at that camera and I say, does it look real still? Does it still look real? Because our eyes like to trick us, right? Like we can start looking at it long enough until we're like, I think it's working now. I think it's working. And then you come back and you look at it again and you're like, oh gosh, that something's off about it. But our eyes kind of like trick ourselves into saying it's correct. So that's one of the tricks that I've learned is to go get the shot or perspective and then take a look away for a second and then come back and see how that looks. So kind of moving on. So some more driving plates. This is how we like to really have the day. I like for everybody to see the shots that we're doing. We like to break down the day. So this is going to be from 6 a.m. to 10, and this is from 10:30 to 11:30, and then we have a little bit of little wiggle room right here. It's gonna be like 12:30 to 1:30, and then 1:30 to like 3 and 3:30 to 4. The vehicle had to be out of the vehicle by 4, so 3:30 wasn't a possibility. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was because I was about to ask. I was like, oh, were you able to hit that? Because I know a lot of productions go over, but
yeah,
there was no choice.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we had to be out. We had like, it was a little more than 7 hours, like total, but production time. I think we actually ended up starting at like almost 9 o'clock. So
Yeah.
we didn't have a ton of time, but still counted. So
Yeah.
one full production day basically. But and so we were able to break down each individual shot. We put them in order that we want to capture, right? So just because these shots are here doesn't mean it's actually the order that we're actually going to put them in the project timeline. So we went through, Suraj and I talked about what was the best shots. What lenses do we need to do, because we didn't want to waste time, go switch from one lens, go to the next lens, go to this, switch to this lens, go to the next lens, go to switch to this lens and go to the next lens. So we had to organize our time, our lighting scheme. So like we didn't want to be doing the red scene while we're doing the blue scenes. So we're just going to capture all the blue scenes, and then we'll capture the organic shots. So and then kind of scrub it along. So here's a little bit of behind the scenes. My boy Duncan Johnson kicked butt.
It's a big crew.
Yeah, I mean, this was a spec, and so everyone got to invest their time. They got to walk away with stuff. We used it as a learning opportunity for some young individuals. We had we got William Escobar right here. We got Kiwi. This is Suraj's wife. Myself. This is Suraj. I think Duncan Johnson is over here. But we got some lighting, some bounces and reflections. So if we saw the ceiling, we had a white, like soft light, like it bounced, right? And so lots of different little reflections all over the place. You can kind of see what it looks like. Let me some more clips. This is pause right here. So they need to have it's like the camera just squeeze right across the ground, just like literally like an inch above the ground, right? So we had our prop, our robot, so it was gonna come behind that pole. Then we had this is Suraj kind of looking at his angles, making sure he's happy, asking us to back up the car and things like that to get his exact idea. So I was gonna say this shot right here, which is always tricks me. So this is not even real fog. This is in Unreal Engine.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But all this haze right here, this is real. This is real fog, like a hazy environment.
Yeah, just blending them together.
Yeah, but this really, that fog back there, thicker, like so you could see it, really helps sell it that there was like a vent back there, like pushing something out.
Yeah.
Right. We're in a sci-fi futuristic area. So that shot right here, I'll pause it real fast. We needed to have some really fast-paced movements while we're driving. So we would just practice, move the robot, and then we'd trigger it and we just roll it. And we'd be like, how are you feeling about it? And so the robot would just be bouncing back and forth, and we'd let it play, and we just kind of review it for a while. So it just kind of bounced back and forth. And so that was a really great way for us to digest the shot rather than like having to do it handheld and really be thinking about it the whole time. Right? Which you can do, but with the robotic camera, we were able to like do the exact same shot over and over and just keep it bouncing back and forth and dissect every single inch of every single shot. Some things in this scene, you can see there's little droplets of water all over the place. We had
droplets and understatement. I mean, that's a lot of water.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd mention that.
Yeah.
No, we took gallons of water and dumped it on the floor. Yeah. And so in our studio, there's a 2% grade. You know, I put a lot of different things on here, sand, dirt, like rocks, other things, and like little bits of water here and there, but I've never, ever fully engulfed the studio floor with water. I was a little nervous going into it. And it was like at a 2% decline. So we had to keep filling up the water. So like mopping it up, spreading it back around the whole time. So thank you, Isaiah, and everybody else that helped me push this water around and then clean it up afterwards. So,
Yeah, wow.
yeah, we're just like, okay, mop more, and the floor had never been so clean.
Oh, I mean, there you go.
Yeah. So, a little more breakdown on this. This was $120,000 vehicle that Sonic Automotive lent to us. They dropped it off in our studio, and they basically said, "Don't drive it." They literally dropped it off at the back porch and back door, and was like, "Okay, get it in." And they were like, "Don't drive it."
Did they know that you drove it just a little? Oh no, we didn't drive it at all.
I didn't drive it. I didn't drive it.
No.
I didn't drive it.
No.
But yeah, it was. I only drove it around the block. Not fast. But I did drive it inside the studio though.
What model is that?
This is the NSX.
Yeah.
So it's actually not a new model, right? This is an older car. It's a hybrid. It's like a.
It looks futuristic though.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all that
exactly.
matters.
It's very beautiful, and that's why we kind of like landed on this car because very sleek and looking. It was very tight inside of there. So you can see we have our Unreal Engine background. If you watch on our camera, the background is like banding back there. And so it'll start over again. This over. Come on. Go. Boom. So watch the background. You see that little background. So that's kind of like because our cameras are not synchronized. This is a BTS camera. So our real camera is synchronized to the LED wall.
Yeah.
So-
you have to get at the right frame rate.
Exactly. Got to get in the right frame rate. I do have another video that's got some more cool clips in there. If you want to take it down for a second, we got. Boop. So we don't have to play the audio on this one, but it is. This will give you a little teaser of some of the shots. So we'll go ahead and you can put me on the screen. Yes, sir. We're ready. And here we go, Morgan. Turn down some fun beats as we move them around. Here, I'm gonna stop this real fast. Turn off my audio, and so I'm gonna just break this a couple more fun things around. You got to see they were dumping water on the ground.
Oh yeah.
We're moving the car around, so we have these jacks. So the camera stays in the same places the entire day. Like we're not moving it from the front side of it to the back side of it. If anything, we're just going closer and further.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to move the vehicle around.
It was easier to move the vehicle.
It was exactly. It's easier to move the vehicle around, so we can like turn it. So, like instead of like backing up and doing a 17-point turn, you jack it up and spin it around on itself, and like it takes like obviously like 4 people to move this car and turn it around real fast. And it's pretty quick. You can actually do it with 2 people and just like push really hard.
Oh.
Yeah, you get a little tired. So. Again, some more just angles that we just needed to get of these cars driving, like those macro shots, tight shots of the hood. So here's Siraj. This is what Siraj looks like. Great guy. Extremely, incredibly talented, super amazing director. Siraj, we've got some posts on my Instagram. If y'all go there, y'all could follow him. He's incredible. So goes all over the place. He's does stuff from New York. Here's a little bit of Unreal Engine right here. This is really the real reason why I wanted to showcase this one right here. So you can see this little dome right here. This is how we control our sun. So we can choose the time of day, right? And you're like, oh, I need to spread these things out. You could click on that one, and then it would actually like you can move that building, right? You could spread these apart. He originally in his storyboard in Animac, he had the real car there, right? So we just removed those and put it on the LED wall. So here's some more fun BTS, me driving the car. This is some props. You can see other angles of it, the cameras, the lights. Really, it's just tons of diffusion, like trying not to spill it onto the LED wall, but light our subject just enough. it's all about communication on these sets. We're working with multiple people in different departments, Unreal Engine department, a robot department, our director, our DP, our lighting department, our art department, and everybody needed to be working together, right? So it was super important that we're able to communicate, and that's why you see us all wearing like headsets. So we're able to. This is just a BTS video. You can go watch it on our YouTube video or our YouTube, but I don't want to show anymore yet. I don't want to show anymore. Is there any questions? On the stream? And Morgan, I want to answer some of your questions because I know you have some.
Have you ever just used the LED wall for a blue or green screen?
Yes, we did one the other day. It's actually a really, really easy way to make it very consistent. So like behind us is a green screen, and behind Morgan is a blue screen. And we've got to have a lot of light fixtures to light us, right? And so imagine the green screen behind us illuminating, so it's very consistent, so we don't actually have to light it. So yeah, you can use it as a blue screen or green screen, no problem. You just, depending on how bright or intense the light is, that it works. It works great.
Yeah. That's cool. That's especially like, I know we have our psych wall, and we're changing that from white to green all the time. So maybe you need a quick green screen, and you're like, screw it, man, let's just use the LED wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We did do it on a shoot the other day. We mentioned to our client, like, hey, we can create you a virtual production environment. And when it comes down to it, it was like a really last minute shoot, right? So if you're not really set on it, on the environments, and there's things that you want to cut out or you want to tweak or you want to change, you should just go ahead and do green screen. So ultimately, they weren't fully satisfied on the environments that were created and the assets that were given to us, provided to us. So on set day, we said we're going to move away from Unreal Engine and we're going to go green screen background. And they walked away with the ability to have evergreen content, right? So now they can put them in this environment, that environment, and this environment. So it actually worked out for the benefit of the client, to be honest.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just have a couple of questions. So, like, when it comes to Unreal Engine and these assets are you using, like, whenever you buy these assets, do you own the rights to them? Like, do you ever have to give any like royalties or anything if you're using?
Great question.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Unreal Engine, you're able to use this for free until a certain point, right? If you make a film and it generates over $1 million, you're now eligible to have to start paying royalties to Unreal Engine. So I hope you make $1 million. That'd be great, right? If you make $1 million, you've done something right. So, but when it comes to the assets, you purchase them on a marketplace like TurboSquid, Fab.com, and there's plenty of other sites where you can go make them, like Meshy AI. You take a photograph, you drop it into there, and it creates the asset for you. There's ways to go photograph real images and bring them into like Reality Catch or PhotoScan or Kiri, and then take that real item and then put it virtually. So like, if you're trying to find your exact virtual item, you can make it, you can find it, you can build it. There's some way for you to be able to execute your idea, even if you have to spend $5 or $10.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was just thinking about like the creators, I guess, who make assets, but I guess, I mean, you're paying them one off to get the asset, and that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
From that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and now as an asset creator of these 3D environments, now it's a new job, right? Mm-hmm. People are going to just go start generating and creating assets for people's films. Like I saw a pair of Air Jordans on one of the applications. He sold 10,000 of them.
That's
at $15 a pop.
Yeah. I mean, and
he's doing good.
It probably didn't take him very long to make that
exactly.
either.
Yeah. So, the younger generation is already used to buying these 3D items. It's kind of weird, for me to think about, like, I just bought a 3D, tractor or this 3D item. But, now I'm like seeking out items for our future productions. I'm like, oh, I have that I have that piece over here, or I have that. So it's collecting all the different environments that we've purchased, and there's like maybe there's a farm one and there's now hay bales in there. There's cowboy ropes. There's cowboy hats. There's all these different assets. And then now we can migrate them over to a new project, right? So it's content collecting, these asset collecting.
Yeah, and what did you say the name was of the director who approached you the project?
His name is Siraj.
Siraj, yeah. So what did Siraj end up like doing with this project? Was he happy with it? And did he end up sending it off to anybody?
Yeah. So, as these big directors, sometimes they're not actually allowed to showcase a lot of their work due to strict NDAs. So a lot of directors will invest into content that they can legally show and still have the vision that they want. So I believe this ended up being part of Siraj's completed demo reel. He didn't even use the whole video, right? So he uses these parts and pieces from some of his projects that he is allowed to use, and then he's like, "Oh, I need to go create this piece to showcase what I'm capable of." So I know he gets booked all over the world and does these projects, but even though he has new ambitions and new desires and new goals, he's still taking his time to create this content. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's. I've never thought about that. I guess, yeah. If you're a director and you're working on a lot of stuff, but you can't really necessarily show it off yet. What
Yeah,
you've been working on
it's
for a long
easier
time.
to sell it if you've already done it.
Yeah,
But if you don't have that evidence that you can do that thing, it's so much harder to show, right? They're like, "Hey, kid, I can shoot this shot at 1,000 frames a second with some slow motion fire with some like veggies coming in." They're like, "How are you gonna get that, dude? Like, that's gonna be hard." Like, no, I already did it here. Look at this with the shot, and they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
would love that shot. Please get that shot."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like that's why some of the visual references are great, and then that can kind of get by with like, this is what I want to get. So if you haven't gotten that shot, you can still showcase a reference video of something that you want to get.
Yeah.
Now, what trick it is sense?
I think this is kind of a funny one. I just thought about it now. So, how much bigger do the volume walls get? Like and is there like a point of diminishing return where it's like, okay, you don't need a wall that big, or do you wish you had a bigger wall?
I wish I had a bigger wall.
Yeah.
My wife is like, no, she's probably watching and she's like, pulling out her hair over there. He's gonna want to buy a bigger wall now. Thanks, Morgan.
Yeah, my bad.
No, yeah, there is a need for it in certain places, right? I think there's going to be tons of production studios all over the country that are not. It's not gonna happen. It's already happening. There's small production studios that have small LED walls. There's production companies that have medium size. I would consider ours as a medium size LED wall. And then there's those fully immersed where it's like 270 degrees with a ceiling on top. And that's because they're going to be doing feature films, large movies for Marvel and Disney. And so they're fully equipped to handle these Diego Lunas, right? These huge actors that have the facilities and the infrastructure for major feature films. We're a commercial space, right? We work with retainer-based clients that want to continuously keep working with us. So we have all the tools that we need to have for like ourselves. We can make a movie ourselves, but Disney came to us tomorrow, I wouldn't know what to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'd
fair.
love to take it. I'd love to take it.
Yeah, that's one of those. You just take it and you ask questions. You figure it out in the
Yeah,
fly,
I'll figure
you
it
know?
out. Like, I won't
Yeah.
say no. Disney, please come knock on my door. Manifest destiny, y'all. But no, to be honest, we could do a feature film like that, but it would be so above us right now. Like, you're gonna see this stuff, and you're gonna be like, yeah, you could definitely do a feature film. Like, these shots are kick ass, right? But like, it takes so much more time and effort. This is 60 seconds, and you saw all the previs and all of the work and detail that it went into.
It was like almost done.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Yeah.
And it's a 60-second piece. Now imagine if you had to do like a whole show like Andor, right? 45 minutes, 8 episodes, 10 episodes, and like how much time and energy goes into it. You got to have a bigger space. You got to have more people. So I guess there's a way to say, like, for some people, like, yeah, this wall is too big, right? So this wall is too small. But it's not every tool fits for every single project. We've lost gigs because our facility is not big enough. We've lost jobs because our wall is not large enough. We've lost jobs because I didn't have the right robot. I didn't have a big enough robot, or I didn't have a small enough robot. So it's like it's hard to say like if you have the right piece of equipment, you got to sell the tools. Not every job is gonna fit that exact tool.
Yeah, that's
You know?
yeah. That's I've never thought about the wall being too big.
Yeah, right.
Either. Yeah. I guess
Like it's overkill. I don't even need it. It's just gonna be a talking heads. It's gonna be like this frame.
Yeah,
You know?
They don't want to pay for the full wall.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need to be fully immersed. Is there any more questions in the chat?
No.
No questions in the chat. So that being said, let's go ahead and we're gonna get ready to showcase this video real fast.
Okay, let's
do
it.
Can you actually pull it up on your end so the audience can have audio?
Yeah, sure.
So they can hear everything together. Because I think the script, the sound design, all the stuff kind of pulling together. This went from a free project with friends getting together, creating something that was incredible, to a world-class piece of art, right? That looks like it could have cost tens of thousands of dollars. And for the client might cost 100,000 plus. So as soon as Morgan pulls this video up, it's on our YouTube channel. You can also go back and check it out yourselves. I wanted to also mention, I'm sorry, everybody. Al is not here still. We're still doing some updates, some tweaking. We kind of broke him until so next time we're hoping that we're going to have him ready to entertain some more, ask some more great questions, and entertain you guys some more with Al and our AI. I think if you can't go, I might be able to. Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Great.
Let me just, we gotta, they're showing some ads on YouTube, but they don't get free promo, not from us.
Not from us. Not from us.
All right.
Please, everybody in the chat, leave your questions. I'd love to answer anything that you've got. In the meantime, we're gonna check out this spot that we made with Siraj. And it's our spec ad for Acura. It's to showcase what is possible within virtual production using Unreal Engine, using all the bells and whistles that are free, available for you to start to storytelling. And then pitch your ideas. All right, before you play it, put it in the highest quality.
Yeah. How's it looking on your end?
Yeah.
That's good?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's sharp. All right. Come sit right here.
In an age of automation, we've...
Wait, let me make sure the audio's on too. Yeah, there we go.
Great. Let's start it over because that audio is good.
Yeah. It's letting us know we're in edit.
abandoned what makes us human, the visceral connection between human and machine.
You're missing on your end. Yeah.
Even machines dream of being
isn't
human.
that weird?
That's the shot.
That's the
shot.
weird unnatural
Yeah,
shot. Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, how did
anytime
y'all do that one?
I'll break it down here. I'll show you on my end.
Okay.
I'll kind of go
The
from shot to
all-new
shot to shot
Acura
and break it down,
NSX,
on,
designed for humans,
how we ended up
desired
actually
by
getting
machines.
each into every single shot. So you can go jump back to my screen. Okay, so as you saw on our BTS, we had our plate, like our little pillar wall, our actual car, and our legs. So I'm gonna go here. Now y'all can't hear it, but it's okay because I'm gonna narrate through the whole time. This was a robot shot pushing just very, very slowly. Took us just a few minutes to get because it was very easy. We already knew the shots, right? So this shot right here, this is an Unreal Engine shot. So we got the vehicle inside of Unreal Engine, and we were able to simulate the moving shots.
Did you find it in Unreal Engine or did you scan it?
So yeah, you can go purchase vehicles. Like there's every single vehicle on the market.
Someone's already done it.
Yeah, it's already done. So it's just an asset. It's a pack that you can purchase, right?
Cool.
From our Star Wars film, I got to find the Razor Crest. I got to find all these different, Star Wars feature things that were all hyper reflective.
Yeah, there's enough people making assets.
Exactly. There's enough people making assets for you to be able to go find this specific thing. And so this is not a real shot. And so I think one of the best things that we did in this whole thing was mixing Unreal Engine shots, because we can't drive this car 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's just not, we can't do it,
Yeah.
So we have to simulate some things. We need to see the wheels moving. So we were able to do some of these things mixing Unreal Engine with AI. So we're going to keep breaking this down a little bit. Real shot, robot just kind of spinning around. Another wide shot. We were able to kind of butt up some of these shots back to back with each other. So
can you go back to the one shot where it was just like straight on of the onto like of the car like driving forward?
This one.
So how did you simulate the movement in this one?
So again, you go get an Unreal Engine environment, right? Take your screen grab of it and just like describe what you want. So maybe this is a real tunnel inside of Unreal Engine, right? And so we leave the car and the camera in the same spot. And then
so this shot was purely Unreal Engine.
Purely Unreal Engine.
Okay,
and then you run it through AI to simulate those things. Or you can actually, depending on how much time and energy you want to spend, you can actually simulate this in Unreal Engine entirely.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm imagining Siraj ended up he's always about efficiency. So if he can create the shot that he wants a little bit faster, without diminishing the quality, he's gonna do it. So he's been practicing with AI enough to know that I can get the shot. All I need to do is feed in the angle, the lighting, and the information, this frame, and AI will do the rest.
Yeah.
Right? He might have to do 3 or 4 variations to get the exact one that he wants, but ultimately he came out with this one, which is incredible. So this is a real shot. We have the door open on one side, and the camera is just slowly rotating, right? And so this is a handheld shot. Just punched in the camera. I took it off the robot, pushed the button. This again, we just jacked up the vehicle, spun it around, and had him push on the brakes. Just made sure we hit that shot. Made sure that we were still in the right perspective and the angle. So we rotated the virtual world, so we are still facing the right direction. Right. This is a Unreal. I'm gonna pause it. This is another Unreal Engine shot. So I think the way that when we watch this video, the reason a lot of these shots look so real is because we mixed real shot next to an Unreal Engine shot, and that Unreal Engine shot was distorted in a sense, right? You could see it. It's also very, very short.
Yeah.
Very short. So the longer the shot, the more our eyes will dissect it. And so I've seen this video 1,000 times now, right? I've dissected it. So even when I see it, I immediately know, right? So the more and more and more times your eyes have the ability to dissect it, you'll break it apart. So Unreal Engine AI shot. Real shot.
Yeah.
So we just timed it, just pushing in, moving up. This shot looks real. It is totally fake.
Oh, wow.
It is totally fake. It's so crazy to me that we actually forgot to get the shot. I think we just moved so fast when we moved scenes, it kind of got like taken off the board.
Yeah.
And so we were like, Siraj was like, we didn't get it, but the shot came out incredible.
Yeah.
So like you can still use this stuff. I could not believe it when I saw this shot, to be honest.
Yeah.
So again, AI, more AI, shaking, Unreal Engine. Okay, this shot, you saw this line right here above your head, Morgan.
Yep.
Is the LED wall, right? So everything up here, so everything behind that is not real. And we just blended the LED wall down here. We didn't have to even think about it over here because the car and the fog are all blocking. The
headlights look incredible.
Yeah, that fog pushing it all through there. And so this shot, ended up being one of my favorite shots. Obviously, I didn't expect it to be like this whenever he was, because he didn't have this in his previs. So we were just talking about it. And so we needed to create this off-kilter shot. And I think one of the best things that you can do when you're doing a virtual production job is to do on shot and break it. Go to like 45, like a 90-degree angle to make it look like they're actually in that world. So the more times you can break that world, that angle, you're able to immerse them more.
I got a gnat on me. He's trying to ruin the stream.
Oh no.
He's flying around my face. But yeah, no, that it looks really, really good. I mean, the animation too is cool.
Yeah.
I think it like warps into the skin, you know. I think
So the way that this was going to be made, so right, you've got your first shot. I'm just going to kind of work this backwards, right? So this is the shot we got, right? And he went to the last shot, the last frame, exported a high resolution, fully color graded, right? Like ready to go, and then AI'd a image of her with the piece on her face, probably until he liked what it looked like on her face, right? I saw it. I saw the little guy.
Yeah,
Saw
no,
the
he's on
little
my
gnat.
face.
He just landed right between your eyes.
Yeah, I know. He's coming for me.
Um,
I'm getting attacked.
So this frame right here, he was able to AI generate it, right? So it just filled it in. And so he had this final frame, and then he had his first frame, right? And so boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
So then she just turns into it. So he just did this AI where it's like clean shot, final shot, and then it just merged it.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a relatively inexpensive shot, but technically hard shot to do. And like, I mean, this looks like even cooler than what is it?
You would need
the
CGI.
Terminator.
You would
right?
need like serious CGI work.
Yeah, and again, like this is a commercial, so we don't have the huge budgets like feature films. So if you needed to have this consistency and continuity throughout the entire film, now you're talking larger budget. Now you're talking about more details. You're talking about another person that's just dedicated to doing this thing right here, right? So in our commercial piece, this was the only scene we were able to execute it. If you needed to get some continuity and you need to be able to have that, you might want to practically put that on her or figure out ways to make that continuity throughout the whole film, right? So, but since we were just telling them that she is AI, because in the film you kind of realize she actually is AI. And then again, going back to that little move where it was like almost not possible, like a little glitch, right? Like only a robot could do that. Boom.
Yeah.
Right. Boom. Boom. So those little tiny nuances where he like cut it out and maybe photoshopped her face. I don't even know how he did that. Actually, we did it. We had her looking and just had her like turn her body, and he probably just cut out a frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and the camera, we're just like keep the camera still kind of thing. So that's how you dissected it. So finally, when we picked out all of our shots, which I like to say, Suraj was editing on site. He had the video feed come in, and he wasn't working with the final video. He had an STI feed into his computer where he was able to video capture record. He had a capture card.
That's cool.
Going into it, he just recorded the screen and was able to take his video. And so when we walked away that day, we had all the shots that he thought that he needed for the final film. It was probably like 1080p or like 720.
Yeah.
But we needed to know we got all of our shots, right? So he was like, okay, check, put it in there, put it. And then we moved on and we didn't have to think about that shot ever again. And so then we also had that for continuity as well. We're like, oh, was she on this side or was she on that side? Well, let's check this color on the last shot. So doing that live edit was so game-changing for me. Like that little tool to be able to take the SDI feed, take a video capture card, plug it into your computer, so now you can take the live camera feed playback. He's taking a playback, so he just pressed play on the camera, and then he just had it on his computer, recorded it. Boom. I was like, I'm doing that on every.
Yeah, that gives you
shot.
a lot of peace of mind, like to know that you structurally have everything.
Every single shot. Every single shot. So post was so seamless. He just boop boop boop.
Did y'all do anything in post, or was it all him?
So Suraj is an editor himself. We gave him they packaged up all the content for him, gave him a drive, took it all away, and then he did the edit. And we referred him to a couple different color graders, which is going to be the final piece of every project. You want to get your picture lock, right? You pick out all your shots, the shots that your client says they love. We give a little color on it just for visual references. And so you can see what it would initially look like. It's not going to be the final color pass. So that being said, Frank was our color grader for this project. Siraj and Frank came into the studio and worked on it. I think for like 2 days. They came in and just like hammered it out. Boom, 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 boom. Just like let's do this color, let's do this color, let's do this color. So Frank would give him like this look, and this look. So he'd have like 2 or 3 different things that he could show Siraj and be like, what do you think? And Siraj would be like, no, yes, no. And be like, okay, yes on this one, and we're going to do this across the board for all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it normally works, is you come up with a look first, color grade a couple of clips within the color profile that you want it, and then you approve that color. And you say, boom, now put that on everything, watch that color across the board, and then give it one last look and be like, okay, from this scene to this scene, let's finesse this.
Yeah, the little tweaks.
Let's do the
but
little
overall,
tweaks.
because you want to be consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
But in,
exactly.
in some scenes, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, okay, maybe it's a little too blue. Like a little too blue just right here. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Awesome.
and that's it. Acura.
Yeah.
Done. Fun stuff. I would love to know if you guys have any questions, comments. I would love to help teach you more about how to do a virtual production. If you want to know the tools, if you want to know the plugins, if you want to know where to get these things, please shoot them in the message. Comment down below. We come back and answer these questions later. So even if you're not watching this video live, comment below and we'll answer your questions as we come through. So, and if we love the question enough, we'll answer it live in the next show. Next week, we're hoping to have Branch Media from our last shoot that we had this past weekend, Friday, Saturday, time goes by, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to break down how we did our virtual production shoot with Branch Media for Good Rancher. It was a farm and a race track scene. Is incredible. So John Garza is going to be on the show, and we're going to be able to talk about how he thought about this idea, how they got this client, and how they executed overall, because this is their first time doing a fully immersed virtual production. And so how do they feel going into it, and how do they feel after they left? So I'm looking forward to teaching you and showing you guys how John had his experience, because we had only a couple of weeks of preparation and we were able to execute. I would say it's probably some of my favorite shots to date that we've done on the virtual production. I'm going to leave it up to Morgan to give us a one last little check on the stream, see if there's anybody asking any questions. Morgan, if you have any questions, if anybody in our studio like Hamza or Kari, I'm happy to answer y'all's questions too.
On my end, I think you've answered everything I want to know. And then all we got is Adrian Marcello.
What's up, Adrian?
He says he misses the studio.
Welcome to it. What was his question?
Yeah, well, no, he said he misses the studio.
Oh, we miss you. We want you to come back, bro. We're gonna let's make some films. Let's make some TV shows. I love what you're doing, man. You're doing some really creative stuff, and keep grinding away, man. Guys, follow Adrian. He's on my Instagram. Just type in Adrian on my top, and he's in my friends list. Awesome, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Next week, we'll be live Monday at 3 p.m. We're going to teach some more about virtual production, some robots. We'd love for y'all to fire off as many questions as you can in the future. Know that we're here to answer them. We're going to teach you some more stuff. Hope this inspires y'all to create incredible content. Let's bring the world-class content to Texas. I hope that we can inspire those outside of Texas as well. Keep tuning in, and we'll see you next time.